may be smaller in stature, but their oversized talents can't be missed in Athletes Unlimited. Allie Kennedy is a speed merchant with a gift for goal scoring, who strikes enemy netminders in a hurry. AU is new for Sydney Black, but her shiftiness is wonderful, leaving defenders in the dust. Bigger plays are bound to happen with Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse on Bally Sports. Welcome to Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse, presented by the U.S. Air Force. Who's ready for another fun day between the lines in Sparks, Maryland on Bally Sports? This showdown, it's a Saturday showdown with major leaderboard implications. Taylor Marino taking her team into a mashup with a squad packaged together by Marie McCool. A very pleasant welcome to you. Alongside Courtney Martinez-Connor, a five-time national champion at Maryland, I'm Joe Beninati. Field reporter Kylie Ohlmiller will jump in real soon. Court, these two teams were on opposite ends of the scoreboards back on Thursday. What do you expect from them today?
You know, Team McCool, they are at the top of the board. They're in those gold jerseys. They want to walk away with a win. She was able to assemble a good team, and then you have to look at the flip side. They already have a win to their belt, but it's a matter of continuing on those winning ways. When you gel early, keep it going.
We want to make sure you have a good working understanding of how we do things here with Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse. Take 56 players in this league aiming to be the individual champion. 4 teams carrying rosters of 14 players, and those teams will change every Monday via a captain's draft. Every play matters. The scoring system's really unique. We play 3 games in 4 days for 4 weeks. Court, let's get a grip on this match. Charlotte North, I think she's playing the best we've ever seen her in AU Pro Lacrosse.
She is, whether it's scoring a single goal or a 2-point goal. Charlotte North is a force to be reckoned with on that offensive end of the field. She's super dynamic in the 2-player game, but she's super lethal when you give her time and space to wind up and shoot. The strength for her is her aggressiveness to goal. She likes to lend her game from the men's game as well. She's a true student.
Kaylee Waters, one of the players entrusted to stop Charlotte. She's very capable.
Capable, consistent. You can count on her to make saves, whether it's from a distance or in tight. She has quick reactions, especially that top hand when she fires at the ball. I love her play outside of the net as well because she's unafraid to go for those ground balls or interceptions.
Field reporter Kylie Ohlmiller sees the game up close and personal. Here she weighs in on defender Kayla Wood.
Kayla Wood has captain experience. In season 1, we saw her leading the defensive strategy. When talking to her prior to this game, she told me that there are 2 keys to deciding on a defensive strategy for the game. That would be personnel and legs. 2 different things that she talked about, personnel being the offensive threats on the other side and how they match up with Kayla Wood and the rest of the defenders on her team, as well as making sure that there are no zone threats on the offensive side that could be cutters, which, that said, Joe, Courtney, she mentioned to me today they might be playing a man-to-man because the other team has a ton of great cutters.
Kayla Wood protects Taylor Marino. Marino's opposite number in goal is Kaylee Waters for Team McCool. Kaylee, let us know, what's the biggest challenge for you today from Team Marino? We'll work to get that sorted out throughout the day. Kaylee Waters will be wearing an IFB, a microphone for us. She'll take us into the game from time to time as we are prepared for this one to unfold. Game number 10 of 24 this season. Earlier today, Team Apuzzo downing Team Reed by a 12-9 margin. Izzy Skane had 3 goals in that one. 4 other players had a couple of markers. Livy Rosenzweig gets draw possession for Team Marino in blue. Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. Team Marino with a 1-0 mark. Team McCool 0-1 off of the setback back on Thursday. This is Ellie Macera who's on her way to the cage. Macera, who was ejected for a red card back on Thursday, wasn't able to add a lot to her leaderboard total. You're seeing the leaderboard on the screen now. Plenty of players with purple next to their names, the colors associated with the jersey colors the players are wearing this week. Team McCool in the white jerseys with the gold trim. They'll have the gold next to their names on the leaderboard. Massera feeds. Good sneak there for Spillis, but the pass gets away. It's a turnover to Team McCool.
You know, I was super impressed with Team Marino. On Thursday, they were without Ellie Massera, one of their star midfielders, even though she's just a rookie, but they were able to collaborate and still come out with that win. That was pretty huge in their win over Team Reed. 12-8, I think a pretty resounding one at that.
Massera was bounced with that red card even before the game was 6 minutes old. Sydney Black has been an igniter on offense. She crosses over there with a split dodge. Marino made it look easy to make the stop. Every goalie save is worth 4 points. Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse. The game's played 10-on-10, 6-on-6 at the offensive end. It's 80 yards from goal line to goal line. You'll see a restricted area in front of the keepers. That with more attention being paid to walling this season. There's an 8-meter key. Maggie Hall hovering at it with Massera finding Charlotte North. You score from behind that 8-meter key. It's 2 points for your team, 16 for yourself. Charlotte North is the all-time leader in twos in AU Pro Lacrosse history. Rosenzweig bump it for Massera. Skip it over the top, too tall for Hall. In a foot race there with Wakefield. There's a 60-second shot clock in Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse. Kennedy surrounded, shot clock's at 7. Good stiff defense in front of Kaylee Waters. Kennedy feeds for North, drifts away from a defender, but this is a shot clock violation against Team Marino.
Excellent defense for Team McCool. They are all going to be awarded 4 points for that shot clock violation cause. If you look at the rules, 10v10, so different than the NCAA game that fans are used to seeing. This creates more space for offense to work with. The slides are going to be from a farther distance. Shot clock is always set at 60. The ball has to get over that restraining line, which is halfway across the field within those first 20 seconds.
That's Courtney Martinez-Connor. Our field reporter is Kylie Oldmiller. We're bathed in sunshine today. Beautiful weather. Heading towards the cage. That was a tough shot delivery for Arsenal. Kept alive to McCool. Forced back by her Team USA mate, Allie Kennedy. 10 seconds to shoot right now. Black working downhill against Scales. Off the sweep. Feed for Aldave. Fires over top, just missing the mark. Back up on the end line, awarded to Team Marino. On a shot that misses in lacrosse, closest to the ball where and when it leaves the field gets possession. There are 20 quarter points available for all 14 players on the roster that wins each individual frame. You're battling to win 45 points overall when you win the game after 40 minutes, but we divide it up 10 minutes by 10 minutes. And those points often are valuable in determining who's going to be high up on the leaderboard. Allie Kennedy knows that. Feeds back for North. North getting wide. Wants to fire from the hip there. Defensive read by Ball. Feed it inside Spillis. And a great save for Waters to get her game off to a fine start. Nearly halfway through the first. Dorney will bring it along. Hannah Dorney, 2 times a captain at Notre Dame.
You know, we're hearing a lot of that, captains, not just once, but potentially twice for some of these players. That just shows their leadership on the field. And even though there's one captain set per team, so many voices, collaboration, as they all communicate and all feel like they have a voice when the teams are selected each Monday.
Bouncer sent wide, captains for sure, and now coaches nowadays, right? With all of these players on the field, so many of them involved with collegiate programs around the country, either as assistants or head coaches. Haley Warden jogging ahead. Warden, one of those as well, an assistant at Arizona State.
Allie Kennedy herself as well. I think oftentimes when you have that ability to be a coach and as a player still, it just gives you a better outlook.
North around that 8-meter key, feed it down low. In tight quarters there, Hall got her signals crossed with Warden. Shot clock's at 18. Nimble work there from North, who was hit hard, thought she was fouled. Rosenzweig didn't come up with the ground ball. First timing it there, it is Megan Ball, who will start the transition. McCool looking for a numbers break here. 5-on-4. Going to the goal. Bosco snapped it wide. Abby Bosco, a captain in the opening week. Bosco, the AU Pro Lacrosse Defender of the Year a season ago. And the first defender to ever medal. Wood going to the cage, streaking there to score! Kayla Wood, coast to coast.
I love it. You could hear her teammates yelling, go, go, go. She had a lot of space. She had a full head of steam. There were a few teammates who were popping out. She had options if they were needed, but putting the goal on the board first, Kayla Wood all the way from the defensive end. You see the space in front of her. She just continued on. It seemed like she was running forever, Kylie.
And she's very good at that. We talked about her defensive strategy and that leadership on that one end of the field, but she's able to turn defense into offense all by herself.
Wood scored back in the inaugural season of Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse. She's back on the board again. Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse is sponsored by the U.S. Air Force. Low scoring through the first 6+ minutes of this Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse game. Kayla Wood just put a point on the board for Team Marino. But Courtney, as we were heading to break, we understand the officials were reviewing a potential crease violation.
Sometimes you become so excited you run through the crease. She managed to stay outside of the crease with her feet. Nevertheless, even if she did go in, I believe she was pushed by Marge Donovan, number 80 in white.
Lynn Bowers, the official, has communicated that the Wood goal will stand, and we can visit here with Kaylee Waters going into the game with a netminder for Team McCool. Kaylee, how would you describe the action in the first 6:01?
Hey, Joe. We've been seeing a lot of back and forth. I think white defense, they've been holding strong. I mean, a lot of good defensive team plays, sliding, helping each other out, and getting the ground balls. So super happy with how we've been playing despite that one goal. We still got a long game ahead.
Kaylee, you always manage to come up with those unsavable saves, point blank, right in front of you. What are some pointers for those young players?
I don't know, you gotta love to be in that moment. You know, you can't be scared of it.
Kaylee, it's amazing reflexes. We know you can brag. I'll brag for you. We'll be back with you throughout the game today.
Thank you. See you guys.
43 in the white and gold, backstopping her team. Trailing by 1, tail end of the opening quarter. 10-minute frames in Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse. The team that wins each quarter wins 20 points for everybody on the roster. Sydney Black, 15 in the white, has an outstanding split dodge. She chose not to use it there against Sydney Scales just yet. Scales, a National Defender of the Year out of Boston College this past spring. McCool, who played collegiately at North Carolina. I want to say there are a dozen ex-Tar Heels in the league. Good movement, Aldave closing. Marino shut it down. Scooped there by Kenzie Kent, a la hockey style. That one went over top of the cage.
You took the words right out of my mouth. Even the a la. It's exactly how I was envisioning it. She's just able to get the ball out of her stick so fast.
Kenzie, a two-sport athlete at Boston College, ice hockey and lacrosse. Arsenal fires, that's off the top of the shoes of Marino. Another save for the two-time defending champ. Allie Kennedy sprints ahead, wants the 4-on-3 fast break. Kennedy all the way to the goal, denied by Waters. High rebound, it's claimed by Macera, and Charlotte North will back out and say, let's settle in. North isolating against Donovan. Arsenal close by to help. Hart keeps it moving. Spillis is next, the all-time goal-scoring leader out of Rutgers. Rolls back, lets it go, fought off again. Waters to her knees to make the denial. 4 saves already for Kaylee.
And with a shot clock reset, Team Marino, they can take their time now. There's no rush. Let the game come to them.
Trying to get the ball out of the cross of Charlotte North, who's been devastating offensively in the first couple of weeks of Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse. Ball's whistled for a foul. Shot clock at 35. Hart on her way to the cage. Galen Hart makes sure to call home to her dad before each and every game in college, and you'd assume so as a pro. Mom and dad, Sharon and Mike. Charlotte between defenders. North kicks it to Rosenzweig. Feet over the top, was snared. A caused turnover for Caroline Wakefield. She's a master of that discipline.
Caroline known for having her eye on the ball. 3 caused turnovers in her last game. The offensive team, McCool, working well, but even better saves for Taylor Marino. And then Allie Kennedy with a lot of speed. But Kaylee Waters just talked with us about staying in the moment. It's all about not taking her eye off that ball.
Kenzie Kent over the top to score.
Kenzie Kent has been pretty quiet here in AU Pro Lacrosse Season 4. She took a look at the shot clock, wanted to see where things were. We've been talking about the 2-player game over and over again between she and Erica Evans, 2 lefties. So a perfect spot for them on that left-hand side of the field. A slide was coming, it was a little bit late. That's why you saw Kent hesitate just for a second.
That hesitation is key, Courtney, because as she winds up, I think that slide probably would have came a little bit more to her body than it did there for Cassidy Spillis. She came with her stick. So as Kent saw that, as she kind of wound up and pump faked that, it gave her the opportunity to freeze the defense and freeze Taylor Marino in goal.
Kenzie Kent with goals in back-to-back games, and her tally here makes it a 1-1 score. The chase for those 20 quarter win points. If the score is tied at the end of 1, those 20 would carry over. The second quarter would be worth 40. 40 seconds left in this frame. Kennedy jogging with this one. 6-on-6 for Team Marino in blue. Kennedy on the feed, North from the bad angle. Off the hitch, she slammed that one wide. Warden thought she was there for the backup. She is. It's possession with the shot clock turned off for Team Marino. Hart off the sweep. That sidewinder answered easily by Waters. Kaylee looking to start the transition break. Funnels this one to midfield on target for Wakefield. 3 seconds to go. Heave it along. Black, a buzzer beater. She sailed it wide. This first quarter carries over. The second frame will be worth 40 after the 1-1 draw. Folks, stay right there with us. Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse, presented by the U.S. Air Force. We're on Bally Sports today, watching the best in the business, Doolin AU. Lacrosse faithful getting an eyeful of Team Marino and Team McCool this afternoon. Kayla Wood and Kenzie Kent exchanging markers, 1-1 after the first 10 minutes of play. Before we start the second quarter, a chance for us to team up with Kylie Ohlmiller and Kayla Wood.
Hi, Kayla. You're hard to track down, like we saw in that transition goal there. Can you talk how important it is for Team Marino to continue to push transition?
Yeah, we got to make them respect us in that fast play, and then we can give it up early, hopefully maybe get it back. And it's important because they're really getting us in the settled play, so we got to keep pushing the fast-paced game.
Thanks for the insight.
Yeah.
Good luck the rest of the way.
Thanks.
As usual, Kayla Wood demonstrating that she can just run all day. Courtney, she went to the cage and made sure of a put away right here.
Just like she said, you got to respect those defensive players. We saw Emily Knowles, another fellow Tar Heel, score earlier today, and Kayla Wood took this one right to the rack. She's so speedy in transition.
There's Kylie, there's Kayla, there's Kenzie. You should be Courtney with a K.
Oh my gosh. That's what Starbucks said to me the other day. Courtney with a K? I'm like, no, I'm not a Kardashian.
This is Kayla Wood, 45 in the blue for Team Marino. Taylor Marino guarding the goal. Ooh, Hall tiptoes the sideline, stays in. We're just getting going in the second quarter, along with Courtney Martinez-Connor, CMC, and Kylie Ohlmiller. I'm Joe Beninati. We shout out thanks to all the men and women in our technical crew for their efforts all week and in advance of tomorrow's early doubleheader. Kennedy on the move. Allie Kennedy fires and scores. That one grazed off of Waters and tickled the twine.
So much like we saw in that first quarter, Team Marino getting the first goal on the board. They were slowing things down. They were trying to get the ball around, but they like this matchup. Allie Kennedy, she is so fast and not many people can stick with her. We saw that Dempsey Arsenal was trying to get her stick on Kennedy, not let her by, but ultimately it was just a reach of the stick, and that's the best that she could do.
And you mentioned it, Courtney, Dempsey Arsenal trying to get her stick around Allie Kennedy's body to her stick. What Allie Kennedy does so well, and this is something we worked on day in and day out at Stony Brook, is when she puts that stick into her right hand and she's coming down that alley, she really does a nice job of not exposing the shaft of her stick along the midsection of her body to those checks. So she really protects it well on the opposite side.
Those of you with a vested interest, Team Marino the favorite in this game. The over and under, you'll see at the bottom of the screen in just a few moments. This is a 2-1 advantage for Team Marino in the blue. Rosenzweig badgered around that 8-meter key. 17.5, they set the over and under. Earlier today, 21 points on the board between Team Apuzzo and Team Reed. Sam Apuzzo's squad at 2-0. They will see Team Marino tomorrow. Maggie Hall angling in on Wakefield. Outside Kennedy, looking to the interior. Dempsey Arsenal stalking her. McCool comes out for the potential double team. Shot clock's at 15. Rosenzweig, that familiar pink cross, going to the goal. Waters eats up that bouncer. Kaylee Waters' outlet is right on the mark for Dorney. Hannah will sprint along. McCool there side by side. No fast break numbers, not yet at least. The trailer coming late is Arsenal. Macera right there at her hands. 2 minutes deep in quarter two. 2-1 for Team Marino thanks to Allie Kennedy's latest strike. Kennedy has goals in all 5 games this summer. Ball down. Kenzie Kent was stripped of it. Still digging, and it comes up for Halpern. A whistle going to give Team Marino possession. Team Marino defensively, Wood, Halpern, Scales, and Burns. 3 rookies, along with the veteran Wood on the back end. Kennedy going to goal, sharing the rock with Spillis. Charlotte North quiet so far. Hall, keep it on the perimeter. Hart on the sweep. North, likewise, draws the double. Tough pass to the interior. Vacuuming that up, one of the all-time ground ball leaders in AU Pro Lacrosse, Dempsey Arsenal. Her pass, though, handcuffed Abby Bosco. Thankfully, for Team McCool, Black was close by. McCool, play for Erica Evans. Between defenders, she scores! Erica Evans.
As an offensive player, one of the first things you teach your attackers are to run through the sticks. And this is a brilliant example of that. In transition, after the nifty ground ball pickup from Sydney Black, McCool to Erica Evans, as we see that. It's just reaching with the sticks. Sydney Scales, in addition to Maddie Burns, they didn't put a body on her. You can run through sticks. They mean nothing. They can't stop you. Unless a defender is slowing you down with their body, you got the time and space.
You said it perfectly, Courtney, and what I think was really important about that is Marie McCool kind of pulled that out to look as if they were going to do a slow break. They didn't have those numbers on the fast break when she originally realized it, but Erica Evans has been coming off the sideline as an offensive midfielder. So she was kind of trailing the play, catching the defense off guard and unsettled.
Kylie, it was interesting as we spoke with Erica prior to this season. She felt like last year, a season in which you were on the field with her, that she was overthinking it a little bit in Athletes Unlimited. This time around, she's just cutting it loose.
Easy to overthink when you're surrounded by some of the best players in the world, but I think what Erica Evans is doing here so far in this season of AU Pro Lacrosse has been really fun to watch.
Maggie Hall has the ball. Folks, you can represent your favorite AU athletes This summer, the AU Pro Shop has player t-shirt options available for the entire 2024 roster. Visit shop.auprosports.com to purchase yours today. Hall, the former Florida Gator, going to the goal. She scores. Pings that one in off the post.
You could tell almost immediately right off of this setup for Team Marino, as soon as they got the ball to Maggie Hall, that she liked the matchup. They set up an isolation. There was no help for Hannah Dorney, number 44 in white. They left her out on an island. Even though the slide came, it came a little bit late when she took Dorney on the underside. Look at that. She had steps on her. The second slide a little bit late from Dempsey Arsenal, but Maggie Hall putting away that tough angle.
And you mentioned it, Courtney, that second slide coming, it was coming from the top side. So for Maggie Hall to recognize that and take her underneath, that's why she got that extra step, and that slide was so far away.
Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse, presented by the U.S. Air Force, today on Bally Sports. Enjoying Team Marino and Team McCool. Just past the top of the hour, Joe and Courtney and Kylie getting together. It was Maggie Hall who was brilliant last week, held to just one assist back on Thursday. Hall and Kennedy sandwiching goals around an Erica Evans strike in the second frame. Hall just 32 seconds after Evans, making this a 3-2 ball game with 6 and change to go in the opening half. Earlier today, Team Apuzzo downing Team Reed. Izzy Skane with another hat trick. Speaking of those, Charlotte North, 4 games this season, hat tricks or better in all 4. North coming in off of a most recent 5-goal game against Team Reed on Thursday. Spins it back behind. Works into the split dodge. Here comes the double. The release from Rosenzweig misses the target. Maggie Hall will bring it in, 20 seconds to shoot. This second quarter's worth 40. Behind the back, just missing. Rosenzweig backed up by North. She lost it out of her cross. Ball settles and has the ball in the capable cross there of the netminder, Kaylee Waters.
Something that I've noticed this season, the number of lefties that we have. Maggie Hall, in addition to Kaylin Hart on that left side, behind the back from Livy Rosenzweig, all very creative offensively, but you look at 2 lefties right now, that's Erica Evans and Kenzie Kent for Team McCool.
The Evans shot answered by Marino. Charlotte North racing in and fires to a knee. Went Waters to make that save. Both goalies outstanding in the first 20 minutes.
Joe, that shot was 75 miles an hour, and that wasn't from outside of the 8. That was in close. That was 75, almost on the doorstep for Taylor Marino.
The second quarter is worth 40. The first frame, a carryover 1-1 score. Team McCool with its captain in possession, Marie, at the 8-meter key. For Kenzie Kent, who's the all-time leader in AU Pro Lacrosse when it comes to assists. Looking to feed right now, she sets up McCool. McCool gets away from Halper and lets it go. Marino to the half split to make the save. Taylor up to a handful of stops. Waters has a half dozen already. The goalie's dominating early.
And that last stop was Team Marino, Taylor Marino. The one before that, the 75-mile-an-hour stop of Charlotte North, that was Kaylee Waters.
It was.
I gotta correct that. I said the wrong name a second ago, and give credit where credit is due.
Ooh, sloppiness there. That one gets away as Hart does not connect with North. It's a turnover. Whoa, and then just as quickly, Charlotte makes the steal. North gets a new offensive set for Team Marino in blue. They're on top by 1. They lead this second quarter by 1. A second frame that's worth 40 points. Maggie Hall, attacker of the year, the AAC this past spring. Team Marino facilitator Mo Gaitan asking for the timeout, and the officials say, sure, why not? 3-2 for Team Marino. We'll take you down the stretch in the second, close out the opening half. The second quarter worth 40. The day is picture perfect in Sparks, Maryland. Temperatures in the mid-80s. The humidity is low. It's a 3-2 Team Marino advantage. So often the players in this league kind enough to wear microphones for us. Today, that includes Maggie Hall. Let's listen in on a recent strike.
There we go.
Let's go.
Oh, sorry.
Great take.
I keep hitting you.
Great take. Good job, Ellie.
Okay.
Ellie, that was awesome. Way to be there and draw that second side.
Yeah, and I'm coming in for the lock, so most of the time I'm going to have your help. So get it from Livy and then look box.
Maggie Hall, as you can see, likes to have fun with it as she's kind of communicating with everyone on the offense. I'm also standing right next to her on the sideline, and she likes to talk through all of the plays, where the shot clock's at, who should be cutting through. All of that good communication on the offensive end is really helping her be successful.
Not afraid to show off some dance moves, too, between the whistles. Maggie's got the ball. She's taken us into the game throughout the day today. Kaylee Waters on the other side for Team McCool is mic'd. Charlotte North looking for her first strike. North gets inside, draws a whistle. It should be an 8-meter free position here for 88. Does she wind and fire, or does she make her way to the goal?
So we see Marie McCool, number 4 in white. She was just standing inside of that area, which is why the 8-meter is awarded to Charlotte North.
Steps in, fires and scores. An 82-mile-an-hour rocket.
Charlotte North, known for her winding up and taking some big-time shots. Marie McCool right behind her, so that's why she wasn't looking at the 2. She was stepping into this. I like how she was driving her hands out. Driving it out, getting that low hand out there, which is leaving that ball to that offside stick.
And the positioning on that shot as well, the placement to that bottom right corner, that is one of those things that makes Charlotte North exactly who she is. She's not just stepping in and only going for the power on her shot that she knows she has. She's also placing it to a really difficult spot
Kylie,
for Kaylee Waters.
Where does the power come from, Kylie, with that shot?
You saw the wind up. She's signature. That's her signature wind up on those free positions. But it also comes so much from your hips and your torso. She really steps in and snaps her hips into every single shot she steps down into.
Largest lead on the day so far for Team Marino, doubling up Team McCool. Looking for draw control possession, and they get it again. Team Marino has won the last 6 draws in succession.
So the ball was actually won by team captain Marie McCool, but Kayla Wood was just waiting for it to come into her stick, and she was ready and waiting for that check.
Drifting towards the end of this opening half with Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse presented by the U.S. Air Force. 2 and change to go in quarter 2. Hall has the ball in her cross now for Massera. Massera, a Tewaaraton Award finalist. Izzy Skane winning that award for Northwestern. We've seen Skane already with a hat trick today. Massera with a good speed chopping down at Wakefield. And it is Bosco with the ball maneuvering ahead with Kent. Kenzie waits for the trailer. That's McCool. Black works well from this left flank. Aldave in a staring match with Wood over top of the cage. Andy Aldave waiting to create. Sydney Black won't wait long. Crossing over but not going to get through. Good footwork defensively from Sydney Scales. Black on a throwback. Aldave! Bullseye! There's that 2-person game.
Team McCool with a 2-player game themselves, this time from the right-hand side. Andy Aldave, she is the product of the 2-player game working. Sydney Black, we see some tough defense from Sydney Scales. And right there waiting, almost at the top of that 8 was Andy Aldave. Again, both defenders went to Sydney Black. They're honoring her because they know she's fast, she's shifty, off of that dodge. But the second slide, nobody came from the stack on the opposite side until it was too late.
And something to note there about Andy Aldave's shot. She stepped into that realizing that she had more time than a lot of times when you get the ball on the inside of that 8. It feels very crowded. It feels like everybody's sliding to you very, very quickly. So sometimes offensive players, we rush the shot. Andy Aldave there, she took her time and placed it well.
Andy, a two-time first-team All-American at Notre Dame. She was a grad transfer to North Carolina. McCool off and running. Andy's sister Maddie played at Johns Hopkins. Another sister played at Florida, Paige. As the Aldave family salutes Andy's most recent strike, making this a 4-3 game. The second quarter's worth 40 points. Arsenal spins back, finds Sydney Black. Off of the screen set by Arsenal. No shooting room there for Black, who drifts below goal line extended. Fast feet. Aldave again muscled that one wide of Marino. Second quarter lead for Team Marino in the chase for those 40 points. McCool looking to remedy that on the inside roll. Smacked out of the air by Marino. The two-time defending champion showing her medal in the nets.
Sometimes you don't even have to come up with those 1v9 saves. Maddie Burns, her fellow defensive player, was going for the check. Hold body, give yourself time.
North buzzed one wide. Courtney, we're down to 8 seconds left in the half. Time's a wasting. Rosenzweig making a beeline for the cage. Feeds Hall. Hall rolled back off the rocker step. She sent it wide. That'll do it for the opening 20. And for Team Marino, they bank 40 points for winning the second quarter. Taylor Marino, we can revisit her handiwork time after time.
Again, right on the doorstep, Taylor Marino holding her position, being ever so patient. Eyes locked in on the ball, securing that second quarter win and ultimately 40 points after that first quarter tie.
4-3 for Team Marino. We're at the halftime break. Here's what we have for you coming up between quarters 2 and 3. Going into the game with netminder Kaylee Waters. Tell you about who was the game's best in the opener today. Earlier, a Team Apuza win over Team Reed. And we'll share highlights and stats from this one. To kickstart everything, let's go to Kylie Ohlmiller and Maggie Hall.
Maggie, always having fun. And you're mic'd up today. We got to listen into that as well. How important is it to make sure that you're communicating on offense? We talk a lot about it on defense, but as an offensive player, how important is it to communicate?
Yeah, no, you don't know what anyone else is doing if you're not communicating with each other. So just making sure that you're aware of what your teammates are doing and making sure that they're aware of what you're trying to do and what you want to do on offense is super important. So no one gets lost or confused, just like on defense.
Absolutely. And how do you guys keep this lead heading into the second half?
Just, using the clock, not forcing any shots, and again, just making sure we're communicating through everything. I think that was our problem in the first quarter, but we really started talking a little bit more in the second quarter, so I think that was what we're succeeding with.
All right, go have a good halftime chat.
Thank you.
Off and running, Maggie Hall. We are off and running to halftime. Charlotte North chewing on this one. North with a strong ride, a bullet-free position goal. Involved in a good one. Team Marino and Team McCool. We're at the half. Halftime break with the Pooches here at USA Lacrosse headquarters. Team Marino, a 3-2 win in that second quarter. Everybody on the roster, all 14 players, banking 40 points. As a result, we are 4-3 on the strength of a lead goal from Charlotte North at free position. During the season, every game, in fact, we have players wired up, mic'd up for sound. Kaylee Waters is one busy vocal customer from warm-ups on out. Let's go into the game now with the U.S. Air Force.
Thank you. Woo! Let's just have a super long. Oh, this is me. Let's go! Hey girls, let's go! Yeah, let me hear you! Oh, did I take the mic from you today? What? Did I take the mic from you today?
I don't know, did you?
Where's yours, Mike? I'm just gonna be spitting riddles.
What?
Riddles. All right, Wakefield, go! Help middle, help middle! Help middle, down, down, down! Yes, Dems! You're good, help, help, help! Yes, Marie! I'm gonna be ready for that rebound, because she almost got that back in. I'm not good at saving in my six, so I'm gonna be ready for that.
You better be noisy if you're going to direct a goal in Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse, just like Kaylee Waters. When we get you back, a look at our first game highlights. It's game 10 of 24 in season number 4 with Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse, presented by U.S. Air Force. 4-3, another close game. What else is new? Team Marino has that 4-3 advantage after 20. We are at the half. Earlier today, Courtney, we watched Team Apuzzo take down Team Reed. And when we go through the highlights, you're going to see a lot of Ali Mastriani.
Ali Mastriani showing her athleticism all over the field, but especially at the draw control. She did such a great job. Again, it's all about speed for her. Getting a step on her defender is tough for them to get back. On the flip side, Team Apuzzo always led by their captain, who just does what is needed on the field, whether that's scoring goals, transitioning the ball or riding. Sam Geyer's back. She had another monster game, often due to the feeds of Madison Ahern. But we talked about if you give Sam Apuzzo space, she's gonna make you pay. And the double team, the ride, again, she's everywhere causing turnovers. But Sam Apuzzo willing her team to get another win.
Sam Apuzzo with career goals numbers 100 and 101. As we take a look at the Game 1 MVPs brought to you by the U.S. Air Force. Sam Apuzzo climbing on that leaderboard. She banks 45 after earning the MVP 1 honors from everybody on the field's voting.
That's right. So many people respect her play on the field, and they notice her whether she's scoring a ton of goals or winning draw controls and causing turnovers.
Sam Geyer's back is borrowing the Sam Apuzzo stomp after goals as well, modeling her goal-scoring celebration after that of her childhood chum. Apuzzo and Geyer's back, too tough for Team Apuzzo earlier today. We'll have highlights of this one between Marino and McCool after this. Back and forth we go in this matchup between Team Marino and Team McCool. 4-3 for the two-time defending champ in Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse. Joe Beninati and Courtney Martinez-Connor with you, along with our field reporter, Kylie Ohlmiller. Court, I'm going to start with a question for you. What was the biggest difference in your mind in the opening 20 minutes?
You know, I think possession at the draw, time and time again, it was coming up with the draw, Team Marino, and that just gave them more possessions, and they were able to translate that into goals.
Kylie Ohlmiller on the field. I know you've had a chance to listen into a few of the huddles. What's the discussion been about?
Team Marino's team was talking a little bit about their defensive packages, their slide packages, and keeping those going so that Taylor could see the shots she's liking seeing so that she can make those stops. On the other side, Team McCool was talking about continuing to get shots off because eventually they have to go.
From slide packages to highlight packages we go. And Courtney, when we have a look, it was expert net minding in the opening 20 minutes.
You know, both of these keepers just are absolutely outstanding. Their undergraduate days at the University of North Carolina, Taylor Marino, gold medal in USA Sixes when they were played in Canada. Kaylee Waters, she's a world champion. USA gold, a teammate of Kylie's. They won in 2022. The both of them just have incredibly fast hands. They're always locked in, and nothing is a sure thing. Just like Kylie had mentioned, if you just keep shooting, eventually they're gonna go in. Or at least that's the hope.
That's the hope is right, Courtney. And you see a lot of different opportunities on shots. We saw some free positions. We saw some dodging. We've seen some assisted goals off of the two-player game that we've talked about. On the offensive end, we're seeing a lot of great action, even though it's a low-scoring game. So I'm expecting to see a little bit more of those shots going in the second half.
Watching Charlotte North's patented free position shot that was 82 miles an hour to the good. Andy Aldave having fun with Sydney Black for Team McCool in what is a one-point game. Guys, we're going to look at some of the statistical numbers through 20 and ask you for your comments. When you take a peek, the shot volume is up. Both teams over 15 and counting in the first half.
You know, one of the biggest things that I see as a difference maker is also the number of fouls committed. Team McCool with 6, Team Marino just at 1. Now those are quick restarts, so that could be giving Team Marino a step ahead. But on the flip side, they already have 8 turnovers compared to just 4 for Team McCool. So you would expect for those extra opportunities for Team McCool to just start falling at some point.
Before we get rolling in the next frame, let's share time. Kylie Ohlmiller with good friend Allie Kennedy.
Obviously having fun out here on Team Marino. What is the halftime speech from Captain Marino?
I think just figuring out their slide packages. The energy was a little low. Kind of felt like a track meet out here. Clean up the turnovers, you know, all the good things that help tie together a complete lacrosse game.
You're pretty good at the track meets, so keep running up and down the field.
Thanks.
Ladies, we appreciate it. Kylie Ohlmiller, our field reporter this summer, the NCAA's all-time point scoring champion, a 3-year veteran of AU Pro Lacrosse, injured this season, but teaming up with us on the telecast. I look at Allie Kennedy and I think 3 surgeries on her left knee. And then you watch her play and you would never know that there was any bother at all to those knees.
Not at all. Many of these players so used to overcoming adversity, whether it's with an injury or something else that's gone along within their life. They are tough mentally and physically.
Right now, Kylie Ohlmiller can commiserate because you know she'd rather be out there with a cross in her hand, not a microphone.
That's for sure.
Kenzie Kent getting things going in quarter number 3. Team Marino winning the carryover second quarter, first quarter combination. So we're back to a 20-point quarter in the third. Sydney Black's been highly guarded in the opening half, and the more she displays her talents, the better defender she gets day after day. Underneath McCool, the captain for the squad in the white and gold. Black inside the 8-meter key, feed it to Aldave, overplay defensively, nice job by Burns, and Wood comes up with a scoop. Kayla Wood, who started the scoring for Team Marino today. Her second career goal, the first coming back in the inaugural summer of 2021. Taylor Cummings was the inaugural champion. We played 15 games that season.
I feel like I remember her goal. She was in a gold jersey. Am I correct?
Think you're right. Not positive. Could have been orange. My photographic memory is being challenged here. Ellie Massera has been scoring goals. Finding Livy Rosenzweig. Rosenzweig off the roll dodge. North playing hide and seek back behind the cage. Shot clock's at 18. Just getting going in the third quarter. Waters, stop, rebound, score! Cleaning up in front, it's Allie Kennedy.
Sometimes one man's junk is another man's treasure. Setting up this play, Charlotte North. She had the initial shot and that nice quick little rebound. Allie Kennedy scooping it up. She's corralling that ball, bouncing off of Kaylee Waters, and is able just to quickly dish it right back into goal.
That's one of those ones where Allie Kennedy can almost look at Charlotte North and say, that could have counted as an assist.
And like a hockey assist. I do think, and I'm gonna say this just preceding maybe for next year, hockey assist, maybe lesser points in Athletes Unlimited, but I think that would be really cool. Again, generating, moving the ball, crediting, fast pace.
Now, normally when you say a hockey assist in lacrosse, I think you're talking about the second assist. That would have been the primary assist.
Yeah.
That wasn't even a hockey assist.
Absolutely.
Quote unquote.
Yes, I am talking about that pass before the assist. I think it would be fun.
I definitely agree with you, Courtney. That's something I will keep in the back of my head.
Kenzie Kent may have 100 assists then if that were the case. Already the leader in Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse helpers. She's got it, 10 in the white and gold, feeding for Eldave. 2 minutes into the third quarter. Marie McCool wants the ball in her cross. She'll try on Ellie Macera. Here comes a double from Wood. McCool stays with it. Switched on to Eldave, circled up there for Black. Nice pass to the inside, that's pumped wide. Kent was in tight on Marino. Kennedy gets the ball for Team Marino. She's off and running off the change of possession. Couple of goals already for Allie. She has tallies in all 5 of her games this summer. Team Marino gets Team Apuzzo tomorrow. Team McCool will finish the week up against Team Reed. The top 4 players on the leaderboard will be the new captains for week 3. We'll have an Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse draft on Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, hosted by Kylie Ohlmiller and Maria Tribalpiece. Hart going to the cage. Didn't get that shot triggered. Hall captures, 20 seconds to shoot. Maggie Hall encouraged to go to the goal. She does, and she's fouled.
I like that cut by Ellie Macera right before the challenge by Maggie Hall. She was pretty wide open inside of there, but Maggie already had her mind made up and was heading to cage. Foul on the body, and she is going to get an 8-meter.
Free position goal earlier today for Team Marino, compliments of Charlotte North. North on that occasion ripped what was gauged an 82-mile-an-hour drive past Kaylee Waters. As the officials huddle up, officials Lynn Bowers, Erica Leslie, Liz Brush, Kim Kramer, and Ronnie Anton getting things sorted out. Three minutes and 12 seconds into the second half. They're going to try and get the shot clock coordinated properly. Maggie Hall awaiting instructions as to when she can go to goal on the free position. So the shot clock has been adjusted to 53 seconds remaining as we have 6:48 left in quarter 3. Folks, while we have time, we can get you closer to the action with your free Unlimited Club membership. Vote on game MVPs, compete in the AU Fantasy League for exclusive prizes and more. Sign up now at auprolacrosse.com. Maggie Hall says she's ready to go. Pointing out, waiting for further instructions. The officials conclude their conference, ready to blow the whistle and send Hall on her way against Waters. Kaylee Waters, 55% save percentage in week 1, hoping to deny Hall here. And she does, rebounds loose. Out of the scramble, it comes up for Team McCool in the white and gold. Arsenault with a ground ball playing on for Abby Bosco. Bosco, who did an outstanding job 1v1 against Apuzzo in the opener this week.
You know, it's all about the sacrifices, because sometimes when you mark a player out of a game, it just does create more opportunity and space for the rest of those attackers to dodge.
Black's pass is deflected. Kennedy on the fly again. Allie's got the 4-on-3 fast break. Kennedy going to goal. Feed for North. North. Snap pass to Rosenzweig. Great recovery by the McCool defenders. And Marge Donovan takes it away. Donovan on the clear back to McCool. Marie McCool on her way to the goal. Stopped by Marino at the end of the line. Waters with 8 saves. Marino approaching that number and more. Halpern finessed it on for Spillis.
As we take a quick peek back at the last save made by Taylor Marino. A track meet indeed. Allie Kennedy had just sprinted down to the opposite end of the field. Kaylee Waters coming up with that one. Her defense, Marge Donovan, to then the opposite end. Another sprint by Marie McCool.
Rosenzweig powering to the interior. She's fouled. Livy Rosenzweig on her way to the goal.
You know, there's a reason why they call this sport the fastest sport on 2 feet. Livy Rosenzweig getting fouled. So we take one more peek at this. Charlotte North setting her up, and watch her hands and that stick right to the face. There could have been a yellow card. One was not dished out.
The Rosenzweig free position was turned away. Waters made another stop waist high as we get the timeout for Team Marino with 4:56 left in the third quarter. Low scoring third frame. Kennedy on the board, improving the lead to 2 for the team in blue. USA Lacrosse headquarters been based here since 2016. As you see the score divvied up into thirds. Team Marino getting a third quarter goal from Allie Kennedy, her second on the day. A 5-3 advantage. Team Marino winning the second quarter. Those big 40 points for the carryover for everybody wearing blue. The netminder wearing white for Team McCool. That's Kaylee Waters as she paces her way back to the goal circle. Kaylee, we just saw you make a nice save on a free position shot. What goes through a goalie's mind prior to that delivery?
I'll get back to you. I think the whistle just blew, Joe, but got to be ready for this.
Really?
Catch you later.
Well,
So,
all righty. How dare you? Moving on.
I love it. Playing in the moment, you gotta be. This isn't an easy position. Goalies can't ever take a break. It's not like, all right, I'm gonna mess around, maybe shoot it behind the back.
Courtney,
All right, big deal.
I'm in the union. She could at least entertain my question. Just kidding. We'll get back to her. Charlotte North threatening Kaylee Waters' doorstep now with Maggie Hall. Hall fires and picks the top corner off of Waters, sticking in.
Joe, she's blaming you for that one.
Really?
Yes, that goal's on you. Team Marino getting their second goal of the third quarter. Charlotte moving that ball quickly, and Maggie Hall with an even quicker release.
A 2-point goal from what we're seeing on those replays there. Referees always do an official review, so not a challenge from either team, but will always do an official review down here on the field to make sure of a shot that is pretty close to that 2-point line.
Very close to the 8-meter key, and we can share these points of view with you on Bally Sports. 91's going to take it from the top. Is there a toe on the line?
Not a chance. The right foot came down even after the ball was out of her stick, and I still think that that right foot was outside of that 8-meter line as well.
A 2-point bump for Team Marino thanks to Hall's second on the day. Maggie Hall getting herself indoctrinated into the pro ranks and performing quite nicely. After all, she did lead the nation in points in college ball this past spring with 119 at Florida. Kenzie Kent running for cover, chased by 3 defenders for Team Marino with just over 4 minutes to go in the third. Largest lead on the day for the team in blue. Sydney Black will spin this. Dorney is straight away. Marie McCool waiting.
Love how we can hear the defense talking, and that's Taylor Marino, the quarterback, calling out where that ball is, what she wants to see, where people to shift from.
You better listen to her, by the way. She's a first-degree black belt in Taekwondo. On the rollback, don't want to get her mad. Beautiful moves! Sydney Black with another highlight reel goal, but they're going to wash this one out. A goal circle violation takes it off the board. Off the restart, some chaos, and the ball belongs to Team McCool. Ball ahead for McCool, once more looking to Black, who has to pick this one off the turf. Feed it to the interior, Cockrell. Once more, diving attempt from Kenzie Kent. Goes wide.
So Taylor Marino, the closest to the ball, when and where it went out, even though she was in the goal. That's going to be 10 points.
That's one of those technicalities. Yeah, you get the cause turnover. Always astute in her understanding of the scoreboard. Taylor Marino has a bunch of those cause turnovers due to runouts like that. That's one of the reasons why she's back-to-back champion in AU Pro Sports Lacrosse, that is. Season number 4 in the lacrosse venue. The 5th championship season of Athletes Unlimited Pro Softball is underway at Parkway Bank Sports Complex. We wish all the athletes and our broadcast cohorts the very best in Rosemont. Charlotte North backing away from pressure. Shot clock's at 8. Against Megan Ball. Winds and fires! That's a missile to the top shelf.
Joe, I'm pretty sure this one was a 2-pointer. We see Charlotte holding her hands up as well. She kind of gave the nod for Hall, like drag her defensive player a little bit lower. So that way it gave her space to dodge. We saw her hand come off of her stick right there. Maneuver around so that way she has the lane to get that right sweeping dodge. And I think this is well outside of that 8-meter key.
She does hold up those 2, and I believe it's going to be a 2. That was a really pretty shot for Charlotte North, and I like the adjustment on the offense for Team Marino. They were shooting a lot low and to the hips of Kaylee Waters, and they've adjusted so far in this third quarter to put the ball high, and it seems to be working.
That last delivery, Kylie, 76 miles an hour on the run from North. Back-to-back 2-pointers, and the lead balloons to 9-6. Or check that 9-3. It should be 9-3 by my count. With just over 2 minutes to go, the lead is 6 points.
And at the start of this third quarter, it was just a lead for Team Marino, 4-3. Quickly how a score can change right off the bat.
Kenzie Kent without her cross there. Ball comes up in the cross of Kendall Halpern. Kendall, who was a first-team All-Big Ten defender at Northwestern. Allie Kennedy on the go, creating more offense. She pumped that one right to Kaylee Waters. Waters zips it ahead. A frozen rope there for Sydney Black. Black wants the 4-on-3 fast break. Angling in on Scales. No numbers advantage. Sierra Cockrell back behind the cage, slowing the tempo. Cockrell, who played at Syracuse, works through the double, still with it. She fires, and Marino makes the save and clears the crease. Taylor Marino, full flight at the midfield line. The keeper maintains possession for her squad. A cross-field pass to Maggie Hall. Hall going to goal. Her look for North was deflected, and back and forth we go again. Into the offensive end for Kenzie Kent.
Back and forth to this track meet.
Final 40 seconds of the quarter. McCool lost it there on her way to the goal. Kent gives it right back to her captain. Marie inside on her way down was fouled.
You know, defensively, a lot of defenders are relying on their sticks at this point, as opposed to just moving their feet, keeping their body in front of them, maintaining that space.
Marie McCool shaping up for the free position shot against Taylor Marino. Captain to captain here. McCool stopped by the netminder, and she pounces on that loose ball. Final 24 seconds of the quarter. Team Marino can have the left offensive set. Marino's got 9 stops. Macera on her way to the cage. Charlotte North begging for it. North working downhill on Donovan. Then gets away from Megan Ball. North on the feed. She crossed up Maggie Hall there. 4 seconds left. This one sails wide. Not much time, if any at all, as the third quarter comes to its end. A convincing third frame for Team Marino. Everybody in blue gets 20 points. They whitewash Team McCool. They have a 9-3 lead down the stretch. With 10 minutes to go, Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse, presented by the U.S. Air Force. court, let's do the Macarena. 9-3, Team Marino has the lead over Team McCool after 3 quarters of play. Team Marino exploding for a 5-point third quarter, a couple of 2-pointers from Maggie Hall and Charlotte North. Let's revisit a Sydney Black goal, Courtney, that was disallowed for a crease violation.
You know, it's a tremendous move by Sydney Black, evading 2 defenders. Again, as they were playing their defense, swinging, but that rollover is what had the goal disallowed. So unfortunate because she dove after shooting again to create some space from those defensive players, but it was almost rolling over as in like, oh, finally, I'm done.
And to note there, Courtney, as you mentioned, as she rolled into that crease there, that's the difference between both men's lacrosse and indoor box lacrosse. Both of those versions of the sport, you are allowed to go inside the crease after the ball is released from your cross, but in women's lacrosse, you are not.
Appreciate the explanation from field reporter Kylie Ohlmiller. Joe Beninati, Courtney Martinez, Connor up in the booth. Shout out of thanks to all the men and women in our technical crew for their efforts all day long and the early day they have ahead. Tomorrow we have an early start to a doubleheader that will wrap up week 2. Once we're done with a double dip tomorrow, we're halfway home in the 4 weeks of season 4. This is Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse. Draw control belongs to Allie Kennedy. Kennedy, who once had 10 of those in a single game, just chopped Kenzie Kent. Things getting physical there, as Ellie Macera then ran over Kenzie on the far sideline.
Some contact with Kenzie Kent's hands, and then it looked like just a little incidental trip up. Nevertheless, contact. The referees are making that call.
Next stop, roller derby. Kenzie Kent working outside the 8-meter key on the flip for Black. Black picked up by Scales, staying right at her hands. Largest lead of the game for Team Marino. Time for Team McCool to start chipping away at it. Team McCool came up short against Team Apuzzo back on Thursday, fell 10-6. Team Apuzzo earlier today, a winner over Team Reed. Izzy Skane had the hat trick. Black to the interior, that's turned aside. Follow-up chance pounded wide there by Hannah Dorney. On the end line, it goes to Taylor Marino. That change of possession, another 10 for Marino, who's once again in a real fight with Sam Apuzzo on top of the leaderboard. You'll be seeing it throughout the weekend. That leaderboard flashes up. The top 4 at the end of the season receiving medals. There's one individual champion among the 56 athletes competing for the crown. Apuzzo and Marino 1 and 2, as they have been each of the last 2 seasons up to the minute. Maggie Hall has a couple of goals. She shares the rock with Hart. Hart goes to the cage from the bad angle. Waters had that surrounded. Megan Ball comes up with it. Ball, a bad pass, turned it over. Hart snapped it on the way. Waters may have gotten a chunk of that and gets it back for Team McCool.
And that was absolutely another save by Kaylee Waters. She was in the double digits early in that third quarter. She just continues to rack up the saves. Those couple of 2-pointers in that third quarter, back to back, unfortunately for her. But the shooting, Kylie, you talked about changing the level of their shot. They were shooting high because Kylie seemed to have her eye on all of those low shots earlier.
McCool will play it for Kenzie Kent. Folks, be sure to follow AU Pro Sports on your favorite social media platforms. Black with a high heat denied by Marino. Stay up to date with all the great content featuring your favorite players, including highlights, mic'd ups, the hot seat, behind the scenes action, and more. Search at AU Pro Sports today. Macera looking into the setting sun. Starting to get some long shadows from the grandstands here at USA Lacrosse headquarters. We're in Sparks, Maryland, about 20 minutes north of Baltimore on a gorgeous day. Very low humidity, temperatures comfortably in the mid-80s for the athletes. Macera digging in, offers to Hall. Bring it to Rosenzweig. Rosenzweig up and under moves. sends it wide of the goal, backed up on the end line. This will be a change of possession. Abby Bosco earns it, and away comes Team McCool down by 6. Marie McCool, a first-time captain. She's been with us all 4 summers of AU Pro Lacrosse. Evans on the rollback. Black keeps it hot for Aldave. Arsenault is next. Dempsey spins back and fires wide of the net. Arsenault living in the California area, playing a lot of wall ball near the Pacific Ocean. Inside roll for Kenzie Kent. She bluffed the pass, then fired it off the outside of the frame. Easy pickings for Marino.
Joe, you know what I call that.
The potential for a mom goal. When the moms cheer, they see the net bulge. No,
Yes.
no, that's outside the post. It doesn't count.
Kylie, you know what I'm talking about. How many times do you hear that in club sports?
Absolutely. I even hear the stands behind me go, ooh, ah.
Rosenzweig and Spillis getting things coordinated. Kennedy from the top, almost halfway through the 4th. Charlotte North looking to get up and go. On the flip with Maggie Hall. North again with another multi-goal game. All 5 games for her this season, in fact, as we have a potential card coming here. It's a yellow and a player-up situation for Team Marino.
I like a little bit of the weave that they were doing. We just saw Marge Donovan stick, number 80 in white, catch Maggie Hall up in the face. Not sure, was this inside of that 8-meter key or not? It looks like it was not. So the ball's going to start with Allie Kennedy. Any player can start with that ball off of a foul.
Marge Donovan, were it not for lacrosse, she'd be an astronaut, she says. Love it. For the moment, player down. Team McCool without her defensive abilities. North this way to Spillis. Change the formation for Hall. One more, Hart. Cross crease on the feed, North for 2. Big face dodge, lets it go, and Waters tracks it down right at the goal line. Kaylee Waters backed up by Madison Doucette. Taylor Marino backed up by Kat Buchanan. McCool all the way, sent it wide. Courtney, I think we have 8 outstanding goalies in AU Pro Lacrosse. We only get to see most of the time the 4. We mentioned the backups, Buchanan and Doucette in this game. Think about how strong through the years Katie Glynn has been. Waters, Marino, Britt Reed was a captain this week. Fabulous net minding. Evans on the move, sends it on the way, she scores! Erica Evans breaks a long drought.
First goal of the board in quarter 4. Erica Evans with a little bit of a worm burner.
No tallies over 18 minutes until this one. It's Evans' 2nd on the night. Back for more in the 4th after this.
Let's go! Are you kidding? All right. Yeah. Oh, dance party.
Little dance party to Earth, Wind, and Fire for Maggie Hall. Mom and dad, Sean and Debbie, sister Gabby. The Halls well represented in the stands, as you can tell. Maggie helping Team Marino to a healthy 9-4 advantage, and Maggie's putting up nice points in this, her rookie pro season.
You know, anytime you can be winning in the win category, that's huge. Obviously, you want to be producing some individual stats, but then earning the vote of not only your team, but the opponent means a lot as well.
Rosenzweig gets another draw control. She has the actual single game record, Livy does. Most draw controls in one outing. She bagged 13 of those last year. Team Marino in the blue, in command in this game. Earlier today, Team Apuzzo, a winner over Team Reed. Izzy Skane with a hat trick. 4 other players had multi-goal performances in a well-balanced game, a game in which Sam Apuzzo became the first ever in Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse to score 100 goals. Hart there as Hall was cleaned out. Collision with Wakefield close by. They restart play, 16 seconds to shoot for Charlotte North. North looking to bag another hat trick. On the roll dodge, she picks up Macera. Clean handoff for Hall. Hall fires and scores! Speaking of hat tricks, Maggie has her 3rd marker of the day.
A little bit of confusion offensively after that foul was called outside with Maggie Hall, but after the restart, Macera to Hall. What I like about the offense is they're all moving with and without the ball. That makes it very hard to defend. They're not necessarily always attacking from any one particular area.
And when Charlotte North picked up that ball originally, there was a little bit of a hesitation from Team Marino, wondering what the call was, wondering how much time was left, and Captain Taylor Marino, all the way down on the other side of the field in her crease, was yelling, "Clock is running, guys, let's get going," pushing them to get started.
Hall into double figures this summer with her 10th. Maggie with goals in the 2nd, 3rd, and now 4th quarters today. The 4th frame, the quest for those 20-quarter win points, is level at 1 apiece. It was the opportune time to score 3 points for Team Marino in the 2nd quarter. That bagged them to 40. Then they blitzed Team McCool 5-zip in the 3rd. 2:40 left in this one. Folks, we know that you'd love to have the chance to win a lacrosse ball that's autographed by Izzy Skane. Now you can. Go to auprosports.com/sweepstakes and register today. Play it for Hall, feed it inside. Macera on the quick stick.
Maggie Hall showing that she can dish the rock as well. Again, it's all about movement. Charlotte North starts out with the 1v1 and then the slide comes. We see Dempsey Arsalan. But as soon as the ball got shifted down to Maggie Hall, immediately a well-timed cut from Macera, cutting from the backside. That's what's key. Move the ball, move your feet, send the cuts.
That ball was barely in Macera's stick. This is something she did all of her collegiate career at Stony Brook. So lethal off ball, just because she doesn't even take a cradle when she catches that pass and just puts it to the top corner.
Looks like she got nicked on the hand there. Ellie Macera celebrated a birthday earlier this week, back on Wednesday. Had a couple of hat tricks in her first week as a pro last week. Macera making this an 11-4 game, 36 seconds after the Hall hat trick, and there's more to come. The floodgates have opened for Team Marino.
And anybody who is on Team Marino in week 1, they know what that can feel like when another team is on the roll. Livy Rosenzweig, just draw control after draw control. Those possessions are key. And then Stony Brook to Stony Brook, Allie Kennedy to Macera, and one more Stony Brook on the sideline.
We love our fast breaks at Stony Brook, and you could see why. It's something we practice every single day, and Ellie Macera was doing almost like a karaoke footwork with her feet there as she shot that one. I don't think Kaylee Waters was ready for it, and Doucette is in goal now.
Kylie Ohlmiller, you've scored a few quick goals in your Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse career. Macera just did 2 tallies in 9 seconds, 3 goals in the last 45 for Team Marino. Marie McCool brings it ahead. Marino still instructing her defenders in the final 2 minutes. Kylie pointing out the net-minding change as Madison Doucette enters the pro ranks for the first time this summer, subbing in for Kaylee Waters. McCool, her captain, chose Doucette in the draft back on Monday. We'll do another one of those this coming Monday, 7 Eastern on YouTube. Top 4 players on the leaderboard after tomorrow's double dip will be the new captains. They'll pick new sides of 14, and we'll start over again with week 3 beginning on Thursday. Off the split dodge, Arsenal floats this one high. Just about 80 seconds left from the finish line. A one-sided affair for the team in blue. Wood, who started all the scoring there at the defensive end, getting help from Kendall Halpern. This one's going to end very well for Team Marino. Macera, who has the last 2 goals, looking for the natural hat trick. On to Hart. Hart from the bad angle, stopped by Doucette, who pounces on it.
Bad angle's an understatement. That was about 2 steps below the goal line. I would have liked to see Team Marino hold on to that ball.
Arsenal not able to hold on to this one. There's a call against her, though. Madison Doucette in the cage now, and here's a great name. Madison admired the goaltending of Devin Wills. When I hear that name, I think of definite Team USA greatness. Arsenal toes the line for the free position. Marino slams the door. Rebound! Marino made that save too, or did she? It was so close to the goal line. They're going to celebrate the follow-up. Arsenal's on the board.
This is going to be a challenge from Team Marino. She was pretty positive that she stopped that first one in addition to that rebound save. As we take another peek, Dempsey Arsenal with the 8-meter and the follow-up.
This is a blue challenge for a goal, no goal
So from that
situation.
angle, couldn't really see. Sydney Black was standing right in line. This will be a better angle.
Can we tell if the ball is completely across the goal line there? Great hand-eye coordination from Marino. You could see Arsenal holding her right hand up saying, that went across the line, give it to us, give the goal to us. But immediately, Team Marino facilitator Mo Gaitan from the sideline says, let's challenge that. As a result, the officials are huddling up at the timekeeper's table. No coaches in Athletes Unlimited Sports. They call them facilitators on the sideline, Mo Gaitan and Christy Foote, respectively, in this game. They help with the draft. They help with coaches' challenges. They work through practices on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Here's Lynn Bowers.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. It's a goal.
They do count it for Dempsey, making it a 12-5 game.
So this is what the officials were looking at, this angle. They don't necessarily have that same access that we do.
Oof. After review, though, the goal for Arsenal counts, so the fourth quarter, those 20 points that are available, Court, it's a 3-2 score now for Team Marino. Marino hoping for the sweep. Team McCool with other ideas. Rosenzweig with 10 draw controls today. You get 4 points for every draw control. Livy has 10 of them. Scales in the open field. 25 seconds away from victory lane for Team Marino. They'll improve to 2-0. Team McCool will fall to 0-2. Marino gets a Puzo, as usual, the marquee matchup on Sunday. And Team McCool will play against Team Reed in the doubleheader action tomorrow. 5 seconds left. Massera, who wasn't on the field for the end of the opening win. She was red carded. She and her mates can celebrate together a convincing 12-5 decision over Team McCool. As you check out the leaderboard, points are being assessed for quarter wins, for game wins. There'll be MVP voting as well. And we will head into Sunday with Sam Apuzzo on top, flip-flopping the results of the last 2 seasons with Taylor Marino, the defending champ, twice over.
So the fourth quarter points as well as the overall 45 points for the win have been assessed. Marino is still in slot 2 with Kennedy and North in the next few spots. I'm no mathematician, but even if she got the 45 points as an MVP, Sam Apuzzo would still be in the lead. I need my calculator. You know I can't do this in my head.
Tomorrow, Courtney will reach the midway mark of the summer season of 4 weeks. Sam Apuzzo victorious earlier today. She and her mates a 12-9 win over Team Reed. Kylie Ohlmiller standing by right now with Taylor Marino.
A really convincing win for Team Marino here. Took all the quarters, and you really were dominating on both ends of the field. What went into the game plan on Friday in between the break from Thursday to Saturday?
Yeah, I think we started a little slow on Thursday. It took us a little bit, and obviously being down in midi was kind of tough. But I think it gave us an opportunity on the offensive end to really work through some stuff and start to get some chemistry. And I think that definitely paid off today. We also just have wheels, so I think we kind of outran a little bit, which was nice. We gave up some easy ones, which we're definitely going to clean up on the defensive end. But overall, the guys came together and finished off a solid game.
You talked about wheels. We saw yours on display. You were trying to get over half. Were you trying to score? What was going on there?
No, I mean, it may have ran through my head a little bit, but my track record so far hasn't been great. So I'm going to have to test the waters a little bit more before I make it all the way down there.
Can't wait to see it.
Thanks.
Seasoned veteran Taylor Marino now in her 3rd campaign, trying for the three-peat in Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse. Final score 12-5 for Team Marino today. Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse will continue tomorrow. That's Sunday at noon Eastern. Team Apuzzo against Team Marino. You can find out where you can watch that game at auprolacrosse.com. For Courtney, for Kylie, for all the men and women in our crew, Joe Beninati, thanks so much for your time. Charlotte North and her mates, too much today. Team Marino. Smile, you're a winner.